I'm making a game in 10 seconds, which is taking on Bad Duck's challenge. But I'm making one change. I'm going to be making a game in 1 minute and 10 minutes as well as 10 seconds for the full challenge. I will be using Scratch, which uses a simple drag and drop user interface to do all of the coding. It's great for teaching beginner programming or for making simple games. Let's start off this challenge quickly with a 10-second game. Once the game starts, there's a statement that checks if you have clicked the spray, and if you haven't, it moves it to a random position. Now, Doorbell Prod, don't come after me because I swear I made this game before I saw your video. This one was super simple, so I made a much better game for the 1 minute challenge. There are 3 objects in this game, the player and 2 enemies. The enemy scripts just make them move towards random positions. The player script does most of the work. Its spray is locked to your mouse cursor, so wherever your cursor is, so is the player's sprite. There is then an if statement that checks whether you have hit an enemy, and if so, you die and the score is reset. Speaking of the score, the final part of the player script adds 1 point to the score every single second. Now for the final game. Since this takes 10 minutes to make, I will speed up the footage a bit. In this game, there are also 3 individual sprites, one being the player, the second is a bullet, and the last is an enemy. We can start by going over the player's code. Everything is within a forever loop. After calling point towards mouse, there are 4 custom functions dedicated to movement. Each of those are basically the same, just checking for the desired input and then moving in that direction. After those, there is a statement that checks if the left mouse button is down, and then instantiates a bullet. The final if statement checks if you touch an enemy, then you die. That's it for the player. Now onto the bullet script. This one is fairly simple. Once the bullet is instantiated, which is whenever you click, it will teleport to the player's position and move in the direction you were facing. Now finally the enemy. This is probably the simplest script. All it does is move towards the position of the player, and if it touches a bullet, it will be destroyed and you will get a point. In this challenge, I made 3 individual games. The first one is just a try and click on it game, the second one is a dodge the circles game, and the third one is a top-down shooter. This was a really fun challenge to do, and you guys should try it. Check out Bad Duck too. He has a really cool channel that you should subscribe to. Thanks for watching.